All right, good morning. Saturday morning, it's the 13th at 10 o'clock, and we are going to put in the fourth and final window this morning. This is it. This is a little different. It's a little different kind of window. This actually will get it, use adhesive to be put into the window or into the frame or the van. So I won't be showing anything about the cutting it or anything like that, because that's the same. There's nothing different there. It will fit right into this panel as Ford built it. Should match up to this ridge right here all the way around and out here to the edge. The difference here is this needs an adhesive, so that's where I'll cut back into the film. I'll show you after the hole's already been cut how we prep that for the adhesion and the installation of the window. So yeah, we're gonna get started and we'll cut here, and when we get back you'll see the hole. Thanks. Okay, it's now 10:40. As you can see, the hole is cut. I'm going to go along and file down some of these rough edges and prime it, and then I'll come back and I'll show the edging that goes on, and then how we prime the window and everything for the adhesive. So yeah, progress. 42 minutes, not bad. Okay, I filed down all the sharp edges and I primed the bare metal, and then I went through and I put this trim lock on all the way around. It's pretty straightforward. It just fits over both edges. There's two panels here, an internal and an external. This just claps down over the edges, makes it look a little more clean and professional. I've also gone through and I've wiped down the outside of the van with rubbing alcohol, just an isopropyl alcohol, and now I'm going to apply a 3M single step primer. I'll apply that all along the outside of this here. And the purpose of this is to increase the adhesion of the window weld that I'm going to be using to adhere the window. So you put this on, then let it dry, you put the adhesive on, and then you put the window on. So I've already dumped some into a separate little cup here so that I can get my little foam brush in there. I'm just going to go along the outside and apply this. Pretty straightforward. The brush being an inch wide really helps keep it uniform. And then you got that trim lock to kind of guide you along. Just come down and around. Make sure you got it all. No reason to be cheap with it. Interestingly, maybe the foam brush wasn't the best choice. It seems to be eating the foam brush. So I got to hurry up, and I don't want any of these pieces stuck in my adhesion. Okay, that's it. I will now let that dry out, and then we'll cut back in and I'll show you the adhesive. All right, primer's dry. This is what I'm going to be using to adhere the window. It's called 3M Window Weld, super fast urethane window weld. It's notoriously thick and hard to squeeze out from what I've read. So I had it sitting in the sun for the last 2 hours, hour and a half. All you do is, like any tube of caulking, this is the nozzle that comes attached down here. I've cut the top of it off about 1/4 of an inch, and then I've cut a groove, if you see that triangle right there. And what that's going to do is, as I run the caulk around, it'll put a nice bead down on the van, but it'll also give me this ridge that'll stick out and grab the window better. I've already punctured the hole here. The next step is to it's like a little pop top. You just open that up, And now you can go to town. I have this caulking gun. This is a 25-to-1 ratio, so should make short work of this. We'll see. You can see it's coming out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start either on this side and go this way. Actually, I might start here at the bottom, because you don't want a gap at the top, right? When you're squeezing this out, if you have where the two ends join, you want that down here or something, so that when the water comes down, it's going to naturally drip down the van and not down the window. So I'm going to start right here, and you can see I've got that big notch right there, and I'm going to run it all along the outside of this and get it nice and thick. I'm not gonna, this is the only window I have to do this on. This stuff isn't cheap, but it's important. So here we go. So you can see as I'm doing this, I'm getting a good bead of it, but I'm also getting that ridge line. I got to do this slow, because you want a nice even coat. You don't want one part being a little thicker, because then your window might not sit right. And what we're going to do later here is as we put the window in, we'll press the window down into this. Yeah, this doesn't go on like normal. If you've done any caulking on your walls, this is a little different. This is really, really thick stuff. So it doesn't want to play nice and give you a good steady bead. Normally you can just slowly squeeze the trigger. Of course, it could be me, right? Someone who does this a lot with this stuff, maybe they're a lot better at it. I want to make sure I get nice and thick. Pardon the drippy sweat. It's due to the heat causing me to sweat. Come down here, and I'll show you what I'm going to do on that little gap right there in just a second. And I might go through and do another bead just for fun, because I've got so much of this. Actually, I guess I'm kind of getting close to the end, ain't I? I'm going to use this up, I guess is what I'm going to say, is what I'm saying here. Not the prettiest.
But you're not making a cake.
Yeah. No one's going to see this when I'm done. This will all be kind of hidden in the window. So I'm gonna just use this up. I've got plenty. I'm only gonna do this one, so why let it just sit in the garage and dry out, right? Okay, so Claudia, what we're gonna need is some good long pieces of strong, the wider tape that we have, that masking tape, because once we get this window up here, we're gonna want to tape it off so that it doesn't come loose. It shouldn't come loose. This is pretty sticky stuff. Okay, I'm out. We're gonna want to have some tape ready so that when we get the window in there and centered the way we want it, we can tape it off, and then we just let this sucker dry. So that's it. Window weld. Okay, so the window's in. All we did is we brought it over, we stuck it to it. We got it level here, so it's level to this line here, and it's level to the frame on the outside. So now I'm just gonna put this tape on here and hold it in place as I make sure it's still where it needs to be. So it doesn't slide. You know, gravity is always pulling us down, right? So, matter of fact, I think it already did right here a little bit. So I'm going to push up on that a little as I do this. There's not much moving it now, though. That stuff is sticky. Of course, all my tape decided to join hands. Solidarity. That's it, folks. Kind of go through and just press it to the glass some more so that the bead really picks up. It ain't moving now. It's not you can kind of see it, but it's also black, so it blends in nicely. What that means is we had some extra window we could have cut out, but that's a lot of frame to cut out here. I would have had to, that would have been a lot of cutting. So I'm very happy with the way this has gone in. Real quick, before it really sets, I'm going to try to close the door just to see. Get all the stuff out of the way. Probably won't slam it, but yeah, so if you come over here, you can see it lines up really nicely with this door. And that's our window. I'm gonna go along and I gotta get some alcohol and clean off. I got some epoxy on there, so I'm gonna clean that off. Rubbing alcohol takes that right off nicely. So get that all cleaned up before it dries. There it is, folks. The fourth and final window is in. Maybe later today we'll have a window cleaning party. That's it. We're done. It is 11:19, so less than an hour and a half. All right. Any comments, questions, concerns? You know where to put them. In the comment section is what I mean. Thanks.